Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Well guys, in this video I'm going to give you the review of IELTS listening test as per the latest trends, as per the current trends, what's going on in IELTS listening, what sort of questions are there in listening part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. So this video is going to be very useful for all of you. Well, in IELTS listening part 1, there are two types. For the most part, they give you one word and or a number. And the questions like 1 to 10, there are blanks and you have to fill in those blanks. Sometimes it is notes completion, sentence completion, and they mention that in the beginning very, very clearly. So if the test is going to be like new test means it was created in 2015 onwards. So then it's going to be one word and or a number. But we have noticed this thing as well, that sometimes in part 1 they give you no more than 3 words, no more than 2 words and or a number, and otherwise there can be very simple multiple choice questions in part 1 as well. If you practice Cambridge IELTS books like from 1 to 17, you will see in part 1 sometimes very rarely they have multiple choice questions. Initial books like books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they have no more than 3 words and or a number and all that. But the books after 9, 10, 11, they mainly have one word and or a number. But be prepared for all the types, okay? After that, as far as IELTS listening part 2 is concerned, part 2 is for 4 type of questions. The first type is multiple choice questions, right? Where there are 3 options and the options are short as compared to multiple choice in part 3 and you got to answer. And these questions are like 4 to 5 questions. Second important type is double multiple choice questions where there are 2 options and you have to select one of those 2 options. And the third important question type is matching. And then the maps, because I have noticed like in the last 6 months I've been making IELTS review videos and all that. Maps are not very common. Yes, they gave maps in part 2, but they were not very common. Like 3 to 4 tests went by consecutively and there was no map there, right? But anyways, these 4 question types like multiple choice single, double multiple choice, matching and maps. And if you are lucky, in part 2 also you come across sentence completion. And by the way, sentence completion is the easiest type of questions. They give you tables in part 2. If you have tables or sentence completion, that means the test is gonna be easy. Then in part 3, now, as far as IELTS listening part 3 is concerned, it is only for 2 type of questions. Number 1, multiple choice questions and mainly single multiple choice questions. Very rarely they give double multiple choice questions in part 3. And matching. So questions like 21 to 26, they give multiple choice questions. 27 to 30, they are matching type of questions. So multiple choice and matching, they are very important for IELTS listening part 3. As far as part 4 is concerned, as per the normal trend, part 4 is a lecture, and in that lecture they have given some notes which you have to complete. So part 4 is mainly notes completion, and for the most part it's one word only. Sometimes one word and or a number. And if the test is old, then it can be no more than 3 words. And one of my students gave me the review after his listening exam, and there were multiple choice questions in part 4. I myself have solved some listening tests from Cambridge IELTS book. In part 4 they gave multiple choice questions. So you need to prepare for this pattern, and this is the latest pattern of IELTS listening. If you follow this pattern in actual exam, you will not get any surprise. All the best, guys. I also teach IELTS online all over the world and on campus here in Lahore. If you wish to be the part of my online or on campus IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take care. Allah Hafiz.